Come friend, come foe, come one, come all, to the highlands to see who lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, they'll take to the stage on invisible strings. Oh, once in my castle their roles are assigned, their fates in the game forever entwined. Under cover of night the traitors will slay. Can a faithful fight back or be the next play? Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies, they'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. From the meek to the fierce, pawns to dictators, bound by the strings of the silent orchestrators. Every move, every breath, a twisted decree, a game of betrayal, no one's truly free. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies, they'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Who can you trust when the darkness descends? The blade in the back, the whispers of friends. The court is a theater, the blood-stained stage, a dance of deception, a war in a cage. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies, they'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Come friend, come foe, come one, come all, to the highlands to see who lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, all are mere puppets on invisible strings.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my second recap of the Traitors, where they surprised us with 2 episodes. Yep, they sure did. Let's see. There we go. You've already formed a statement. Kirsten, no Kirsten. All right, Jam, you cannot vote now. And Pippi, you better save it for the round table. So let's see. Yes, they surprised us. I wasn't expecting 2 episodes either. It took a bit of a process for me to get there. Because I saw what happened. I went and watched a whole interview with Monet and didn't even realize she hadn't been, banished or anything yet. It didn't even occur to me. And so then a little while later, I see a TMZ clip about Michael and controversy and getting kicked off the show or getting banished or whatever. I'm like, what? I'm like, why are they spoiling next week's episode? But I watched the clip anyway. I had to watch it. I could not watch it. But I'm like, this is bullshit. They're spoiling this. But guess what? I'm going to spoil you guys if they're spoiling me. So I saved the clip so I could play it today. And then I get to thinking a little bit more and still nothing. I go in Saturday morning to start doing my notes for the episode to rewatch it. And that's when I realized there's a whole ass other episode that I hadn't watched. I'm like, what? That explains so much. Here's episode 5. Here's where Monet goes and Michael. So, not to spoil the end of my stream early, but yeah. So I'm glad that you guys got to watch the second episode of the week, which would be episode number 5. So we are going to start with episode number 4. Share this tab. Oh, tell me this look. It's just not. Amazing. I need this. I need this to be put out to the t-shirt fashion gods of Etsy or whatever. But I need this in like a black t-shirt for all seasons. I would need a tank top, a t-shirt, and a long sleeve shirt. Hey, Christoph. There are 5 episodes in now, and it is really good. It's really good. I don't know how it's gonna go from here. Hey, Rainbow. Did I even say hi to Kirsten, Pippi, and not that Laura Marie? I was all ready to have a vote for Pippi, so I don't even think I said hi. I was doing like Ron. I was keeping it unbiased. I don't care about how you're doing. I don't care about what you think. No, I'm kidding. Rainbow, that's what I was just talking about. Those 3 hadn't either. And so, not that Laura Marie sent me a message at like 3:45. And I had just made a salad and I was going to have to rush and eat salad because, that's super crunchy. And so I was happy to move it an hour so they could watch it. But yeah, so I would recommend not watching me when I start. Don't rewind. And I'll try not to spoil episode 5 as I talk about episode 4 because I've already spoiled episode 5. So please do not rewind if you don't want to be spoiled. But episode 5 was better than episode 4. Like way better. And I don't want to spoil it for you. So you should try to maybe trust me to not spoil it from here till I start to talk about that episode. And I'll just get into episode 4 right now. And welcome again, everybody. And this fabulous outfit. And I need the murder written in glitter. It can't just be, a generic murder. No, we need glitter and sparkles and amazingness. And I need this top for all the seasons. Tank top, short sleeve, long sleeve. All right. And sweatshirt. What the hell? Okay, let's see. So, episode 4 was called Cut the Head Off the Snake. And it begins with Ron in the woods yelling, "Show me your faces!" So amazingly dramatic. Great for TV. And then they cut right over to breakfast time. And let me see if I've got any breakfast pictures real quick. I think mostly competition and outfits. And let me see. See, was this episode 5 or all my. Did I have any. Oh, I might have stuff in here. Let me just. Okay, that's episode 5. That's all 5. I don't have any clips from episode 4. That's weird. All right, no matter. Just makes it easier for me, and it sucks for you guys. I usually don't care either, but this was really good. Yeah, I'm usually all about a spoiler. So, breakfast time happens, and first ones entering the room are Jam Jam and Natalie, Mara, Rob, and Monet. Um, Rob is just telling the confessional he is just trying so hard to think of himself as a faithful so he doesn't flip up anything at breakfast. Monet reminds everybody that the traitors had to do it in plain sight. So basically, he said to check all of their stories to see if they match, listen for anything suspect, and gather intel as the tree people come into the room, or all of the people, the 6 people, because there were 2 that weren't eligible, but that's because they were the traitors. So, Dorinda mentions to Tiffany that she'd been worried all night. God, this episode seems like so long ago already. Episode 4. Um, she was so worried that her partner Lisa would be murdered throughout the night and that Lisa would never forgive her and that Lisa is such a dear friend. Um, well, Lisa's a little bit of a housewife hunter herself, isn't she? With the Portia and Caroline of it all. So anyway, Dorinda, you don't know about the Caroline. uh, Also, Eric is also feeling guilt about his and stressed and hopes that is it Tiffany was his partner? I can't even remember. But he's stressed. And then I have a note that he actually talks about in episode 5. I did confuse it with episode 4. Right, Kirsten? I want her out. I'm ready for a new traitor to get in the turret. Let me turn that chat to the screen. I was wondering who Kaden Marie was, but I just thought, well, maybe that's a joke I missed somewhere. If I see it a couple more times, I'll ask about it. Anyway, that's funny. Thanks for clearing that up right away, though. I would have been looking for a Caden again. Like tried to figure out the joke. Oh, but Eric was talking about in episode 5 and slightly in episode 4 about how he tends to feel a lot of guilt, and he talks about how he feels like a lot of immigrant children um, like a lot of the kids of people that were not born in the United States grow up to really think about how their actions affect the larger group. And everything that they do, they're always very, very conscious of how their action will affect others. And so he carries a lot of weight with that and a lot of guilt with him over that. in his, I guess, in his upbringing, because his parents are Korean and he's I guess first generation born in Atlanta. Even though he makes most of his money. Well, he makes his money in K-pop, so I guess that's international. But um, so that was his kind of thing. Anyway, so Candace comes in with the second group, says that she's feeling a little bit nervous. She didn't want to tip off anybody in there, about anything, and was hoping that she didn't tip off anyone or anything. Uh, the last group, let's see. Oh wait, then Candace comes in. Yeah, and so then the last group comes in, and then they see that Caroline's gone. The Traitors then said that they decided to get rid of a housewife. The little housewife hunters. Well, I guess Candace is now Candace is a one-time hunter. Lisa is a two-time hunter. Um, Caroline is gone, and they did it so nobody would suspect that two of the housewives are nasty, dirty traitors, and that's what my note says. um, so the first thing they do is look at Ron and question Ron, and he says, Oh, I guess, yeah. So as they were questioning, I kind of skipped out of order, but they questioned Ron, and he talks about the henchmen and talks about the process. Um, Lisa talks about the process also, but she goes into extra detail. She happens to mention the axe. They get suspicious of Ron because Ron didn't talk about the axe, and that's an important detail, they say. And, I guess it is. And he didn't mention it. So, but it was there. It's kind of, I feel like it's me, like I'm a sock hunter sometimes in my head, trying to figure out socks. And so it's like, yeah, the Traitors, like if you put all those little people with socks on their heads. I don't, anyway, sorry, I got off on my own little fantasy tangent there. So Eric also described the situation and said he heard two traitors. He thought the others thought they heard three. Also, Eric is in the confessional saying that he got a clue when the traitors came to him by the tree. He got a clue, and he knows for sure. Well, not for sure. 99% sure he knows who did it. Who was one of the traitors? But he's not going to tell anybody yet. He's not even going to tell the confessional. He is just going to wait throughout the day and watch. As the replay, that's exactly what he did. He was watching Tiffany. Like in all the scenes, they made sure to have a point where they focused on him looking at Tiffany. uh Wow, my notes are all out of order. Caroline was all kinds of shocked. I've got here. Um, Lisa was giddy with the murder. How giddy was Lisa? Like, she was so excited to murder Caroline. And she was such a bitch. And I swore I recorded that and I didn't. I must have totally skipped a section of my videos. And because it didn't even occur to me because I recorded that part of Lisa sounding like such a bitch so I can play it for you guys. Darn it. Because she was like, Carolyn's like, well, I guess I'll, see you around. I'm sure I'll see you at BravoCon. And Lisa's so stupid. And she's a liar. She's like, no, you won't, Caroline, or no, you won't. Like, are you kidding me, Lisa? I guess you had nothing else. Like that was like the worst comeback. Because it's wrong. They will absolutely see each other again at BravoCon. But I'm sure Lisa has already made the phone call after the show cut, 6 months ago when they announced the cast. I'm sure that she just called her and said, I just wanted to have my moment. I want to be an icon and stop just doing the iconic things. And that was an iconic moment, Caroline. And you were part of my iconic moment. So that means you had an iconic moment too, Caroline. It's okay. Because we're both icons and we can laugh and talk about it at BravoCon. And I'll just laugh when they remind me, because it was iconic, Caroline. And I was an icon and you got to be part of it. All right, moving on. That was probably somehow how the phone call went. Or maybe she just sent her like a big gift of something expensive with a note that said something similar. Oh, she wasn't Rainbow? Oh, then maybe she won't. That's weird if she wasn't at BravoCon. Is she not on the show anymore? Oh, she's not. I forgot. I forgot she was kicked off or she was let go. I completely forgot. So yeah, she probably won't see her at BravoCon. No, you won't. All right. So, oh yeah, she says you're too much of a bitch. It's too bad, so sad. Off you go. Bye bye. All right, so, um, Jam Jam was after, I guess, Jam Jam was also questioning why Kristen called the, the, the murdering a ceremony, and he thought that was suspicious. Tiffany suspects Ron and Jam Jam and Michael of being the murderers. Oh, are they doing a new Ladies of London? Interesting. I liked the show, but yeah, I liked the show okay. I just think a lot of those women are out of touch with actual reality, and it just it's kind of why I like the younger ones better. At least they're slightly more poor, still a little bit in touch with reality. They're aspiring to be out of touch with reality. So Tiffany's also telling the confessional that she knows that she needs to convince other people, and that's her plan for the day is to try to subtly convince them. She said you can't lead the horse to water and get them to drink it, or she needs to lead the horses to the water and then get them to drink it. After breakfast, you've got Ron and Eric discussing what happened at the tree, talking about how scary it was. And then Ron starts to focus in on these light footed footsteps. He just heard these little tiny, little bird like footsteps. Teeny tiny. In another group, people are talking about how Ron likes to play the victim and that they think he's a traitor. Candace is hellbent still on getting Ron out. She says because he's too unpredictable. She's telling the confessional. She doesn't want to murder him. She wants him to be banished. Which, yeah, it's a waste of a murder. Oh, are you? Cool. Are you guys, anybody else feeling anybody excited that they want to win? I would not be disappointed in a Rob win. If my Rob couldn't win, This Rob is not a bad choice. The other Rob's not a bad choice. The hot Rob is not a bad choice. Oh my gosh, I did get some hot Rob shots in my stuff. Apparently I didn't upload anything from episode 4 though. Everything is episode 5. I don't know what. I'm going to go back to my phone after this and see exactly what I did and be so annoyed. Colton, oh my gosh. Colton, I sort of like, and I sort of can't stand. I don't know. I go really back and forth. I'm so hot and cold with Colton. So Rob and Candace, and you're Rob doing well. Rob is the only one you like, or the only traitor you like. Oh my god. I didn't get a good enough shot of Dorinda lusting, but I did get a little shot of that in the his little snake bite to Natalie. Okay, let's see. So Colton says he was born for this game. He's in the confession like I was. He says I was born for this game. He's telling a group though, Mark, Rob, Monet, and him, that he wants they're outside. Or I remember. Just a moment. I need to cough. Sorry, I had to do a clear your throat cough. They're outside talking after breakfast, and he says he wants to take a big swing that night. He thinks that the traitor is Tiffany and he wants her gone. He says that Tiffany killed Ian and Rob. He thinks that her Ian eulogy was totally fake. Candace is also, I'm a little hot and cold on her too. Yeah. I've got mostly Candace and Rob clips and Alan clips today to show. For like 90% are those three. Let's see. Oh yeah, so he also thought that Tiffany, because she was talking about how, I guess, with a group of people, about how her idea was to get Ron and then Michael and then Jam Jam. So Colton decides suddenly that that's her playbook as a traitor for what she wants to do. Like, no, I'm sure a traitor is just gonna, I mean, this is what was annoying me about Colton. Like, right, Colton, a traitor is just gonna come out and tell an entire group of people their personal traitor playbook without saying they're a traitor and not be referring to as a group what they think. I mean, it's just really stupid thinking. Really stupid. So they're heading out for the day's mission. Colton's in the car whipping those votes for Tiffany. Candace is in that same car. She does not want to see Tiffany gone. She's gonna keep her focus on Ron. That is pretty much it's pretty much Candace's theme for both of these episodes is keeping her focus on Ron. And that is not what happens at all. They get to the mission, and Alan says that today they are going to channel their inner Celtic warriors. Oh my god, I had the best video of Tiffany marching. Oh, I'm so mad. I had the best video of Tiffany marching. Okay, so this is where they got to do the effigies and set them on fire. They basically have to run out into the woods. And I had pictures that I can't show you of the corn dolls. The corn dolls were actually very pretty. I liked them. But you had to find these. If you saw the corn doll, that was your clue that there was a spade, a spear, a spade, a spear hidden there, and it would guide them to it. They need to bring it back, and then they light it. They decide who they want to. There's shields. There's 10 of these effigies, and there's all 18 shields or however many shields are left there, waiting for them, and they have to decide which person that they want to burn, and that person will be up for elimination, will be up for murder at the end of the night. So the prize total, I believe, is $20,000. They go into this competition with 70,000. Anytime somebody loses a shield, there's this hugely loud, obnoxious horn. It sounds like one of those train rail, like a rail yard horn, like really loud. Really loud. They get $2,000 per, so up to 20 grand. While they're starting to pick teams, Monet signs her death warrant, looks at Candace and says quietly that they're suspicious of Rinna, and says it to Candace. Like, because she trusts Candace, so that's why. So Monet ends up, though, in a group with Lisa and Candace, and then Eric. We had Kristen, Mark, and Colton in another group. Tara, Mara, Dorinda, Steven, Natalie, Michael in one, and then Johnny, Ron, Tiffany, Jam Jam. And they get 25 minutes to do this. And again, my favorite part of this competition was Tiffany. So what had happened, I guess, let's see if my notes are. I don't know if I made the best. Colton thinks Jam Jam or Ron, Tiffany. Nope, it's backwards. Okay, that's what it was. So Monet's team was next. Rinna suggested Tiffany and Eric liked her suggestion and agreed. And so they chose Tiffany. Candace was irritated because she wanted Michael and she liked Tiffany. Tiffany finds out, she hears the horn and she hears somebody, like she hears that it was her, and she starts running back, sees that it was her, and the first person she picks from that was on that team is Monet. And she takes her sword in such amazing big brother fashion and marches like a soldier with her spear and stabs it, and it was amazing. Another highlight of the competition was when Candace let Lisa know in the woods that Monet had said her name, and Lisa obviously didn't like it. Oh, look at this. Alan makes a Dorinda Carey joke. # see tape. I don't have a tape. I didn't upload it. I'm a stupid head. And I had an extra hour, but I just didn't even, I just can't have it all together all the time. I know, it's hard to believe. So they end up, the very last spear is Jam Jam. Instantly, Jam Jam starts freaking out and crying, but they end up getting all 10, and they won 20,000. So, oh my God, I had that too. That's right. Tara! 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 I don't think Michael knows. He just needs to say it once. Yep. Tara! That was really funny too. I would have played it for you. Oh, goodness. So Colton's trying to tell Jam Jam he thinks he'll be safe and not even to worry about it and blah blah blah. And Jam Jam's crying and Maura's over on her team, shading him, saying he's pretending to cry. So we've got the people on the short list for this murder are Ron, Tiffany Monet, Michael, Tara, Steven, Lisa, Mara, Johnny, and Jam Jam. I guess Lisa is the only traitor that is on the list. Oh, also, Ron had shaded Mara when he was stabbing her thing. He said that he started suspecting her of being a traitor. Did I put down why? It was stupid. Ron's guesses are worse than Colton's guesses. Colton's guesses are half okay. Ron's just completely wrong. And I can't even remember why he was suspicious of Mara, but it was stupid. And Tiffany ends up telling Mara in the car ride on the way home. Right? Lisa's causing a lot of problems. They're now having to get rid of, multiple people because she sucks as a traitor. Banish Lisa. Banish Lisa. So, they get back home. Eric hits his head on the door. I have seen the tape next to that because that was funny. I like Eric Nom. I like Eric Nom. I wouldn't mind seeing him win. He's just kind of like really nice and goofy and smart and cute. I don't know, like he's very I like him. So far, like that's what I see. I don't really know anything about him, but he's getting a great edit on the show, I think. I don't like that he was so sure about Tiffany. That makes me mad. She was saying some of the most suspicious shit, not that, Lauren Marie? You are not even wrong. Except now, she is saying that the edit, if they hadn't edited it where they did, they would have seen her say she was putting her place in the traitor's head. I don't know. She was also one of these people that was saying after the fact that she knew everything. Yeah, sometimes those people are credible, but sometimes a lot of people just say that. Oh, I really knew that. Like, I knew Candace was. So, Mara's all stressed too as they're coming in thinking she's going to get murdered. Mara, nobody is caring about you that deep. You're safer than Jam Jam, I think. Um, Kristen pulls Ron in the study, and Natalie's there, and she wants to ask him if he's okay, and then Natalie looks right at him and she's like, "Are you a traitor?" or faithful. Oh, wait, who asked? Kristen tells Ron to come in the study, and Natalie's there. Yeah, Natalie asked him. Um, and he says no, basically. He says the problem is he's not an always on kind of person, and he didn't know coming on to a TV show, he would have to always be on. Dude, you're filming. You're at work. Don't you always have to be on at work? I know it gets exhausting when you're the kind of person that's not an always on kind of person, but no, it summed it up as his little bias thing that he talked about. I believe that was in episode 5. Um Mara's outside. She's out stressing out as they're eating with talking to Mark and Rob, and they're like, "You're fine. Nothing. Nobody's coming for you." Colton is in the kitchen whispering to people about Tiffany as they're still eating dinner. Um, Colton then he has to leave the kitchen. He says he's got to leave. He's on a mission to get people on board to get Tiffany out before the round table. He's whipping those votes, as they like to say. Tiffany then is in another room trying to get people onto, the 3 that she has in mind, and she's got no clue at all that Colton's been working all day against her. And the round table begins. The round table begins, and Colton starts right away, looks at Tiffany, and says he's going for her tonight. He talks about her plan that she laid out last night. How we are going to go for Ron, and then we're going to go for Jam Jam, and then we're going to go for Michael. Poor Jam Jam. Not poor Jam Jam. The Jam Jam wants us to think poor Jam Jam. Poor Jam Jam. The look on his face. Tiffany's telling Colton, he tells her he thinks it was a traitor's blueprint. That is so stupid. Why? That would also be a stupid traitor's blueprint if, okay, they cause chaos. That's like how the show ended tonight, keeping the people that cause chaos are the meat shields. Which I guess is a term they are using now online, but it's an old competition gaming term. Having meat shields, having people in front of you that are stronger or cause more chaos, bigger, crazier personalities, just big muscle people. Having those people in front of you generally gets them evicted before you, and they call them meat shields. So these people that Tiffany was talking about are like the meat shields. That's not what. Although I don't know, I guess there's an argument for that too. Right. She's so suspicious. Exactly. That's exactly it. It's okay for him. Same thing with Ron too, because Ron's playing crazy like that too, thinking, well, a target and a meat shield can be the same person. But yeah, that's where it started. Actually, the term meat shield started in Big Brother for me. Like as soon as I started watching the feeds, they were calling those people meat shields. Murder! Thank you so much. Holy cow, 21 months. Thank you, not that Lauren Marie. And Survivor too, they're meat shields. Hey Sarah. So, Tiffany is telling Colton that she is definitely smarter than him. And she is, I agree. Um, she tries to explain that, first of all, Ian and Rob were her number ones, so she'd never go for them. Plus, she would never go for a gamer. And then she's like, but you know who would? Jam Jam. And she says, you think I'm a traitor with those three men and I'm trying to get them out? And he says, no, I don't think Ron's a traitor. I think Ron's a fall guy. Rainbow, 10 months. Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you guys. Jam Jam then kind of cuts in and wants to say, well, I wouldn't because I'm not a traitor. And Tiffany's like, I never said you were. But I am not even talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Poor Jam Jam. And then Jam Jam looks, this is so funny. Jam Jam, or then Tiffany looks back at Colton. Oh no, then Jam Jam says we were talking to each other, and Tiffany says, no, I'm talking to Colton. Oh, that was funny too. That was really funny too. And she says, I suggested that Michael and Ron have always been on the table, and I wasn't sure about Jam Jam. And she looks at Jam Jam and says, and now I'm talking to you. Jam Jam says, I don't like the way you said that, but I'll talk to you now. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could have that capacity to say that. I don't really like how you said that, but I'll talk to you now. It was so perfect. I love Jam Jam. Jam Jam also drives me crazy, but I also love him. He says he's a faithful. Tiffany says she doesn't believe him. That's where Jam Jam says, I think you're a traitor. And she says, write my name down. Jam Jam says, I'll write your name down. And she says, am I allowed to write her name down? And he never did, so I guess they signaled that he couldn't, um, so let's see. Where is... So this goes on for some time, back and forth. Ron comes up talking about the light steps he heard, and that's how he brings up Mara. Nobody pays him any mind. She does say, Mara does say, she's not defensive. Oh, because he tells her she's defensive. She says, I'm not defensive. There's a difference. There's passion. She says, I'm passionate that I'm a faithful. And you're a liar, and you've done the same for Portia. And don't come for me. That's when Eric speaks up, talks about the laugh. And then he looks at Tiffany and says he was 99% sure it was Tiffany. And now everybody's back onto Tiffany. So Tiffany says, he goes on and on about how he obsesses about songs, goes over songs all the time. That's Tiffany's like, you might just need another career. Maybe quit your day job. That was really funny. Candace did try to speak up and defend Tiffany, which was kind of cool for her being a traitor. She didn't need to do that. Tara is crying as Tiffany's kind of crying and begging and pleading her case, and it's time to vote. Basically, Candace and Michael voted out Ron. Tiffany voted out Jam Jam. And everyone else voted out Tiffany. Well, am I wrong? So then Tiffany reveals, bum bum bum, she's a faithful. Ah, Colton and Eric. That's why Eric in the next episode is going on and on about how he feels so bad. And it's this cultural thing with being a first generation of an immigrant guilt stuff that he was talking about was because of this. So, and then Colton says he knows he made a mistake in the confessional, but he doesn't care. He's going to play the game aggressively. He's going to keep on going. He's not going to slow down because he's been a big and badass football player for 15 years. I'm a jock. And then we've got in the study, we've got Michael telling Kristen he thinks it's one of the three hunks. And he decides the three hunks are Colton, Rob, and Steven. And now we've got the turret. I'd say Tourette's. It's turret. There's a difference in meaning if I pronounce it wrong. And turret. Candace is telling the confessional that for the first time, this game is starting to take a toll on her. And this is where I say to myself, Kelly, is she for real have a heart, or is she playing for the cameras and playing for the audience? I don't know. But it might have touched me a tiny bit when she said that. So they've got like 10 people on the list. For obvious reasons, they remove Michael, Ron, Jam Jam, Tiffany, and Lisa. No, he doesn't feel bad at all, really. He doesn't care. The 5 left that they have to choose from are Mara, Steven, Johnny, Monet, and Tara. And I am 99% sure that you guys ended the episode the same way I did, knowing Monet was a goner. And I guess that's why when I watched the Monet exit interview, it hadn't occurred to me that she hadn't actually left yet because I wasn't on to episode 5. Oh, so I'm sure I had pictures of his outfits from episode 4 all together, and I had all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I'm disappointed. I might still play a couple of clips next time just because they were funny. And I'm probably just going to forget about it. I'm just so mad at myself. Okay, so let's see. We're on to episode 5. The episode is called If You're Gonna Come For Me, I'll Finish You. Who knows? I don't know if that happens. So first to breakfast are going to be Natalie, Eric, Candace, Dorinda. Dorinda's so excited. It's her first time in. And meanwhile, Candace is excited to see the salmon at the end of episode 4, really. Yeah. There were things he said in episode 5 that made me relate to him on a level of myself I don't like. So I don't know. I don't really like him, but parts of him, like some of the things, like his ways of thinking, I don't know. Anyway, but then also let me just continue. I'm just tossed. I'm torn on him. It's toss up. They talk about how they're feeling about Tiffany, and they feel bad, and talking about Ron as a possible banishment for the night. Dorinda's talking about how she's insulted by him because he doesn't talk about his family and stuff like that. He just doesn't seem like he wants to get to know people. And Dorinda, she likes to make things nice. If he took one, all four of them took one. That means that Lisa and Candace were in the Tourette lying. If he did. And that's all I could think of at the end of the episode. So we've got Kristen and Rob and Colton in. Overall feeling is sad that Tiffany's gone, and she's more so that she's not a traitor. Colton's worried about. Colton says it's not a good look for his game, but his plan is just to own it. Yep, unless if he took a shield and hopefully, if he could be the housewife killer of her, that'd be great. And then I bet you I should wait till the end of the episode to talk about this. And then I wonder if he'd be the next traitor. Okay, so I might as well finish the thought. Jam Jam comes in the room saying how he's already cried, he's got his tears out. And this is the clip I want to play. Let's see. I believe it's my first clip. Oh no, my thirst trap is first. I did this in a horrible order. Are you kidding me? No, this is the hot clip. My clips are very messy, and I'm very annoyed with myself. Did it not make it in? No. Here it is. All right, I lied. I found it.
Fuck. Jam, all those tears yesterday, for what?
So this happened.
No. I've already cried too much on TV. I can't do it anymore.
Oh, did you cry a lot on The Bachelor?
I was a hot mess.
Really?
Yes.
You know that, right?
What?
That he was on The Bachelor and he was, he hadn't come out and he was dating 30 women.
You went on Bachelor and you were gay?
Yeah, oh my god, you didn't know this?
No, I didn't.
Welcome to the party, Dorinda.
But I didn't know that you went as a heterosexual on a major show.
At that time, I was convinced I was a heterosexual.
God, I missed the window. I would have liked to have been around you during that time.
You dodged a bullet. Congrats.
First of all, I don't believe that you were a grown-ass 29-year-old going on The Bachelor and didn't even have a clue. But that's neither here nor there. Dorinda cracked me up. Dorinda's horny. And it's hilarious. So that happened, and I also play that because they made a point to get that in because of how the episode ended. That was an important scene. Let's see. Okay, Marceau's. Oh, so then now we've got the thirst trap. Actually, I'm just gonna play. Let's see. I should have left these in order, but I thought it was funner to try to put the thirst trap videos together. But then this moment happened, and I loved it.
To the always vibe.
Hi, Candace. I'm gonna sit next to you today.
Please do.
Look, I'm wearing this thing.
Burmese python.
I love your overalls.
Thank you.
The look in her eyes. Dorinda's, I love your overalls. I know, Dorinda, you love what's wearing those overalls, and so do we. So do we. He is definitely the thirst trap of the show. Everybody comes in. Mara's sad that there's no smoked salmon left. Last ones in are Johnny and Tara. Monet is gone, as I'm sure everybody figured. And we know why, because he said Lisa's name. And once that happens, once you say the traitor's name, you're probably gone. So Candace said that she was taking it really, really hard because Monet had trusted her enough to share something with her. And because she's a traitor, she had to do what she had to do, and she feels awful about it. She says, and so to quote Dorinda Medley, how am I doing today? Not well, bitch. That was great. Now, here's another one. So they toast Monet. Did you guys catch what Lisa Rinna said when they toasted Monet? Like, did you hear? They toasted Monet, and I got a clip of it because I watched it 5 times before I clipped it because I couldn't believe. I watched it 3 times just to be sure that I heard the word no. 2 more because I was surprised, and then I clipped it. So I've watched it like 6 times. About to be a 7th, but it's good. So they toast to Monet, and if you didn't catch what Lisa said,
To the always vibrant Monet.
Always.
Monet.
We love you, Monet.
The best dressed, that's for sure.
One of the best dressed. Oh, man.
did you hear that? She said no, one of the best dressed. One more time.
To the always vibrant Monet.
Always.
Monet.
We love you, Monet.
The best dressed, that's for sure.
She said no, one of the best dressed. I can't stand you, Lisa Rinna.
Best dressed. Oh.
That's for sure.
One of the best dressed.
This is why I kept having to listen. I'm like, you did not just say no. You did not. No. Did you really say no? And can I say that Lisa's game, her dressing game, has not been good. I have not been impressed at all. She's like, yeah, she's not on her A game. Her fashion is not anything to write home about at all. She's probably one of the least fashionable of the females. So, yeah, that was hilarious. Let's Like, yeah, of course she did. Like, Rena, you are such a bitch. Okay, so that happened. Alan comes in and says, his little speech. And then at the end about Monet, I wrote this one down because I loved it. He said, she came to play, but today Monet sashayed away. Yes, Alan. Yes. And let's see. And he was serving us this. Look at those guns. Like, impressive. Okay, so as they're leaving breakfast, Lisa is just talking about Monet and how she had to go. And her goal today, if Monet was thinking of her, maybe other people were. So her goal today is to get people to start to think more about Ron and talking about how he's the real clever one. And it's time for him to go. There's a moment between Kristen, Lisa, Candace, and Tara where they're talking together, and Kristen says that she's beginning to like so many people and she's getting confused between like and trust, and that's her fucking problem. So Lisa Rinna replies, like, she's the more important one. That's my fucking problem. And then Candace, like, she's part of the group. Yeah, me too. But of course, Rinna, it's her moment of saying that is the iconic moment because Lisa's the icon. They have been amazing. His fashion's been amazing. And I had pictures of it to show you because his last outfit was amazing too. Loved it. I'm so mad that I didn't upload anything for episode 4. Lord, I will not make that mistake again because it's driving me crazy. And then they're just kind of talking about Ron and Michael's names floating around. Tara's in the confessional talking about how she's really useless at this game. Says she's won Olympics and medals and all of this and that, and she cannot figure out this game. And she's right. She is pretty useless in this game. And what's really funny is that people are starting to say that in their exit interviews on different podcasts that they are going on after their final episodes air. Mara and Michael were talking, and Rob, and they are now suspicious of Colton for the first time because of the Tiffany of it all. They had some shady camera work in there, like Colton was right outside the room listening, but he wasn't. He was like in the hallway. He wasn't near where they were. And there was a wall right next to him. There wasn't even a door. So he's not going to be able to hear through the wall. They weren't talking loud. I'm like, oh, you editors, you guys are shady with that shit. Trying to make people think he's hearing the conversation. He didn't. Michael's also thinking that it might be his night to take some heat. Colton's take some heat because he was the ringleader of a bad game move. Calls him a rabble rouser. Ron thinks he's going to be banished that night. But he thinks that Dorinda and Michael are the traitors because Dorinda wouldn't let him get a word in edgewise. I'm like, clearly he's never met a housewife. And I'm not talking about a paid housewife. Like, has he never met a type A personality? There's like lots of personalities that won't let you get a word in edgewise. Like, come to this community and panel with a few of them. Kristen had asked Colton what his read on Monet was. Colton said it had thrown him for a loop and asked everyone who they were thinking. Jam Jam's talking about Michaels as number one. People are sleeping on him. Blah, blah. Let's see. Colton's talking about how Ron doesn't do anything at all during the day. Does nothing in the missions. Kristen interrupts and says he actually does do things on the missions. He helps out and does his part. Thank you, Kristen. Don't let Colton be a big bully. And then she's telling the confessional that her suspicions are on Colton. She doesn't like how he speaks about other people and how he throws them under the bus. She says he's not even curious. He's just literally asking who people are suspicious of and then reverse engineering it to get the answers that he wants the people to have. And then Kristen's walking out of the room with Candace and telling Candace that she is certain that it's Colton because Colton finds Monet threatening. And then she's talking about how she's worked with so many people in kitchens, and they are so busy leading that they forget that it's a team game, and Colton doesn't feel like a team player. Was Colton like a quarterback or something? I wonder what position he played. Because aren't quarterbacks, I don't know anything about football, but isn't a quarterback, how much do they play with the team? I don't know. Let me stop. That's a kicker. Actually, was he a kicker? I don't know. Okay, see, let me just not talk about sports because I don't know how. It's finally time for the competition. And we've got Alan's look. He's got a dagger in his chest. I love it. Love. Oh, that's right. I loved the day before costume. He had all the crystals on his eyes. And I just got rhinestone glue for my face, and I really want to do some kind of fun thing with that as my inspiration. And I don't have the pictures loaded, but you guys remember the jewels on his face from the day before? Oh, it was amazing. Let's see, what else have we got? Ah, Lala. She's amazing in tartan plaid. And we've got the fountain. As Alan said, it's not the Fountain of Youth. And I'd like to say, well, clearly it's not the Fountain of Youth since you're in Scotland. The Fountain of Youth is in St. Augustine, Florida. And it's not at all what I expected it to be. It's, yeah. The area is pretty where it's at, but it's literally just a little spigot coming out of a cement wall. Says that the competition they need to return. It's the Fountain of the Faithfuls. They need to return it to its former glory. They must find 8 statues hidden around the castle grounds. Once the statues are found and placed, I really love Alan too. I love him. And his costumes, yes. Once they find all 8 of the statues, the fountain will be restored. And this is an all or nothing contest. They need to find all 8 or they win nothing. The total prize pot is $16,000. It's $2,000 per statue. And they are coming into the competition with $90,000. What they have to do first is find coins in the fountain. The coins will reveal the statues on one side, and then on the flip side, it'll have the location. They have to run to the location, put a coin in the statue, and then that unhooks it, and they lift it up, and underneath it are the there's the statues. I love the statues. Statues are really cool. But that's the shield. So I've got clips. Let's see. Let's start with head. Okay, let's still Rob Thirst Trap. Oh, let's play this one real quick. Wait a minute. Let me see. Do I have any other? No, then this was all Candace. Okay, this is another Rob one real quick from the comp.
The old cedar stump?
This way.
This way.
Tara, Quist, and Mor and Rob are on their way to the castle grounds to find the first statue. Look at Rob bounding off like a young buck.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was funny. And then also I didn't clip it, but also at the end when Rob went and got the last statue. Now I've got a few little clips of Candace, and I'm going to have to stop it a couple times for commentary because they don't let you go for more than a minute at a time without copywriting. So let's see. Candace hates the water, and this was her adventures in the competition.
Oh, man.
Are we going in? Yeah. Oh my God. Oh shit. You got it, Lisa. Come on, girl.
Okay.
Come on.
Go on, Candace. America is watching.
Ah! Oh God.
What if I fall in this water? I could get a yeast infection. Who's gonna take care of my coochie?
Yeah. Hello. I do not want to take care of your coochie, but I cracked up at the name. That's okay, Rainbow. Oh my gosh, Pippi. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a mention on the Traitors. Right?
Come on, Candace. Get dirty, girl.
If you get on all fours, it's easier.
The looks on Alan's faces, I cannot.
I haven't found one. Not one.
Called in. I got one.
Where are we going?
The ancient oaks. Ancient oaks. This way.
Water in our shoe.
Just gotta do it.
That is me. She's like, how am I supposed to run with water in my shoes? I hate when my socks are wet, my feet are wet. Like, I hate when my shoes are wet and I gotta have my feet in them. And now she's gotta run, and I agree. How are you supposed to run with wet feet? I feel you, Candace. And then Colton's like, you just gotta do it. And then I'm about to press play and she's gonna groan.
I will never tire of a soggy housewife.
Me either, Alan. Me either. And look at that dagger. This is a great view of the dagger. It kind of blends in with the costume. But that's a great view. Oh, look, I just realized, are these supposed to kind of resemble like little blood drips, sort of, on his head?
Never.
Let's go this way.
Careful.
Let's get back in there and look for more coins. Yep.
That's a butt.
I am suing. In the river?
We have to cross the river.
Oh no. Oh, fuck you.
Whoops, I got... So, yeah, she hit the tree. on the thing, and now she's mad that she's got to get wet again.
Well, I guess I'm already wet.
All right, so Candace was a trip during this competition. I could not. Complaining every step of the way, but she was still a sport and was a team player. You could tell she didn't want to get in the water at the beginning. Half a joint's worth to get it back on. That's funny. So then they finally get the last statue in, and I've got a clip of them winning because I really liked what they did to the fountain. It was really cool. So let's watch.
Oh my God. Mommy, touch me!
Just in the nick of time. It's hard to see the clock, but it says 11 seconds. And I love where I paused it. Look, I love these statues. I want just a little tiny one, like a little teeny tiny one. A little evil angel.
Blood is flowing. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, Louis! Hey, guys!
Hi, not really. Hey, how are you doing? Not to call you not really talking. Your name, your IG handle always throws me off. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Okay, so now we are headed back to the house. They won $16,000, and the prize pot is now $106,000. And Alan lets them know that he's not going to let them know anything about the shields till later. So let's see. I've got to scroll because I wrote every detail of the competition down, and I really just highlighted the best parts, I think, right there. So let me scroll to back at the castle. All right. So yeah, they're not going to find out now if anybody took shields. That's good to hear. Don't say much. Okay is better than bad, at least, right? So at the castle, Ron's telling the confessional that he's on to Dorinda and Michael. Because they were on the same team and they could have snuck off and taken shields. I don't know how they could have snuck off because you're together with your team the whole time. But in Ron's head. So Rena's in the kitchen. She's talking about how today she felt like such a badass. And everybody today was such a badass. And Harry Hamlin is going to be so proud. Harry Hamlin. Oh, Lord. Harry Hamlin. Because Harry makes the funniest joke. He's so original. He says that Lisa Rinna's, I wonder if he calls her Lisa Rinna. He doesn't, but I'm just going to imagine. He says Lisa Rinna's version of camping is the Four Seasons. Ha ha ha, the Harry Hamlin. He knows me so well. He's so funny. Steven wants to know, who's still standing? If Ron goes down tonight, who's still standing? Dorinda says she can only focus on tonight. Oh, and then that's where Ron walks in. When Ron walks in, Dorinda asks him how he's feeling. I guess they ask him that a lot. Steven asks Ron. Well, he says fine. Steven asks Ron how he feels going into tonight. Ron says he's just happy to say his piece, and he's happy that he is at least 90% sure on 2 traitors. They showed Dorinda's face, and her eyes feel like they're stifling laughter. Steven says, so you got 2 traitors in mind? Are you going to tell us, or we got to wait? Ron's like, no, I'll tell you. It's Michael and Dorinda. And he looks right into Dorinda's eyes. And Dorinda says, oh, you should try that. You know, all my faithful family will stand behind me. Ron doesn't know the concept of a faithful family, so of course he doesn't believe that. And I don't know if I do. In the kitchen, Colton was wanting Ron to go, and Jam Jam wants Michael to go. And Colton is there trying to convince them why Ron is better. So Michael was still fine. At this point, I forgot there was a moment right before Michael was fine. So Colton's in the kitchen and says that everybody, though, who after Jam Jam said he wants Michael, you know, Colton is saying that everybody that is voted for Michael is gone except for Jam Jam, which is strange because that's his biggest rival. That's when Michael joins the group, and Michael thinks there's not going to be a murder tonight, and Alan's going to come in tomorrow night and say, last night there was no murder, so tonight there shall be 2. And that is actually, if there ends up being no murder, that's a possibility that we could have a double murder. Colton then, he's trying to be slick and sort of jokingly but not says, I've got a question, and looks at Michael and says, does Alan stay in his costume when he comes up to the Tourette, or does he change? Michael laughs and says he has no clue. So Natalie's in the other room. She's telling Kristen and other people about how she's suspicious of Michael because when he went to answer the question, he paused. Like he had to think about it. Like, what does Michael wear? So I don't think he overheard Natalie, but he comes in the room all big mouth Michael. I had neither Kirsten. I keep wanting to call Kirsten, so I apologize. I hadn't thought of that either until he said that too. And it makes complete sense. Kaden Marie. Not Kira. Oh, now she's got a third name. Kieran Marie. So Michael comes in all with his big mouth and saying, anybody got Michael on their minds tonight? He's coming for them. He's coming for the Colton killers. Colton's killers. Colton's killers. Michael is so dramatic. He just starts going off on everybody, and everybody starts walking out of the room like, oh God, Michael's going off. Michael's in the confessional talking about how he's such an emotional person, but he's very self-aware. So now the next clip we are going to see Michael, and I didn't even realize until I watched this the second time to take notes, is that when Michael walks into the kitchen, he thought that when Rob said Michael, he thought that Colton said Michael's name. So let's watch the next clip to see what happens before. This happens right before the round table.
Flustered.
Yeah, he was. But to be fair, like most of the time you ask him a question, he goes,
He did.
What did you feel when you...
it's Michael.
It's Michael what? You!
Right there. And look how Michael, he says, it's Michael what? He just assumed Colton said his name. He immediately points at Colton and he's going to start. He's going in on Colton.
Are a fucking traitor. This is a bad ringleader. This is a bad ringleader.
I love Rob's I love Rob's reaction.
You, after last night, should be humble and keep your mouth quiet. I would be asking questions instead of pointing fingers. This is a traitor.
You're just hearing him?
Yeah, I hear him screaming.
You're a traitor.
There's a difference between you and I. If you miss a shot, you're not shooting. You're gonna sit your ass on the
I'm not
bench.
doing any shots.
I'm still in the game.
Because you're a traitor, a manipulative traitor. And you're trying to do another bullshit like you did last night. You are a traitor. This is a traitor, and I ain't gonna say no more. This guy's a traitor.
So I'm the fifth person you accuse.
Traitor. Traitor.
Traitor. Traitor. Okay, did I? Really? Okay, that's why I didn't. This wasn't how Michael sealed his fate. It was actually what happened at the round table. And we're going to go to TMZ for that. That's why I didn't clip it. Because TMZ has the clip. Let me go through just a little bit of the round table real quick. Candace opened the round table, asking if they wanted to address the shouting. Michael replies, conniving, colluding, commiserating, Colton. They all start with a C. Like, he uncovered a key secret to the investigation. He talked about how last night was so eerily similar to tonight. Someone was made to feel sad, afraid, and alone. Tiffany. She was isolated and she was pissed off. And the person who put her under fire was the colluding, commiserating Colton. Says this man needs to keep my name out of his mouth because last night he colluded to get rid of a good faithful. I'm angry and I'm pissed off and I'm isolated because of him. And nobody would be better in this room than at holding a secret than you. And he looks at Colton. And that's what sealed his fate. And I am going to play the clip, but I'm going to read it through first. Colton smiles and says, there it is. Michael says, there it is. You're a traitor. You see, the camera points over at Dorinda and she's like, what the fuck did you just say? And Colton replies, you think it was fun for 29 years of my life? And Michael says, no. That had nothing to do with it. 29, I didn't say anything about 29 years. You came into this game loving the idea of being a traitor. Colton says, you've said because I've held a secret for 29 years. He says, I didn't say you held a secret for 29 years. Colton then replies, you insinuated it. Michael looks at him and points, you're a traitor. They scan over to Ron's face. Ron's also looking like, what the fuck, Michael? What did you just say? They scan to Jam, and Jam's shaking his head like, what? The entire freak. Johnny Weir then speaks up and says, you can't blame somebody being forced into a closet for the majority of their life. Michael says, I'm not talking about closets. Johnny Weir replies, well, that's what we took it as, or I did. Candace says, Michael, can you clarify what you meant by that? Michael just talks about his behavior. He's got behavior of a traitor, and it's just conniving, and it's chirping, and it's commiserating, and it's cowardly. Murr agrees with the rest of the gang and says it was a very low blow. Michael says it wasn't. It wasn't intended to be a low blow. And they say, well, he took it that way. And Michael says, well, I'm sorry. It wasn't intended that way. Michael's repeating, commiserating, colluding, traitor. Rob. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Rob interrupts at this point because it's driving him crazy that Michael is using the word commiserate wrong and says commiseration means to feel sorry for someone. And earlier in the episode, he had also tried to correct him. And Michael both times said, no, it's not. Well, actually, that is the definition. That is, let me see. Just look at that real quick. So if you're really interested in the definition, you can rewind back. But if you can see on your phone, this tiny little box at the bottom, commiseration means sympathy and sorrow for the misfortunes of others. Compassion. Michael, nobody's got compassion for you, buddy. But isn't that suck? That's gotta suck. It's because Michael's like my age, and so he's gotta feel so degraded having somebody who's not even 30 educate him on definitions. Because it starts with a C. And, clue starts with a C. And that was his biggest clue. The letter C for Colton and commiserate and collude and chirping and... Oh, my gosh. So, Colton then talks about how he made a mistake about Tiffany. And he did that because he was getting affirmations from people. And the more affirmations he got, the more confidence he had to try to rally the troops. Ron chimes in at some point and says he thinks it's Michael and Dorinda. But again, nobody gives a fuck about what Ron says. Oh, Dorinda called him a housewife hunter. Ron did say, I don't want to know where you live, and I don't want to know about your family. I don't care about your family. My family's none of your fucking business. And then he actually makes a really good point in this game. Getting to know people is part of the game, and it does create a bias, and that's part of the challenge of the game. It absolutely would. He says it impedes the investigation, and I agree. But that's part of the game, that you got to get to know people, because if you don't get to know people, you're not trying to convince, they're not getting to see your personality, to see that you're not a traitor. So I don't know. He could continue to be a meat shield he's going to continue to be a meat shield. They're going to have to banish him because the traitors are not, unless he accidentally guesses a traitor and he can't guess. He wouldn't be able to guess if his own shoelace was a traitor. So they get back on to... Oh, Candace is back to wanting Ron. Michael wants Ron. Colton says that Michael's lucky to get this far. Natalie and Eric agree. Michael's throwing big ass temper tantrums, and it's time to vote. So now let me grab this clip really quick, semi quick. Let's see. Well, I saved it, so share this tab. Oh, wait, if I saved it, though. Oh, I know where I saved it. Huh.
You guys, you know what's so weird? Like, I don't even care about this.
All right, maybe I don't have it. Sorry. Stop sharing for a sec. Let me find it. All right, found it. Sorry about the B interruption. Totally accidental. All right, let's watch TMZ talk about this. Harvey the lawyer brings up a very lawyerly point at the end of this. But we're going to be able to watch the scene and then them discuss it a little.
A homophobe?
No.
A lot of people who were gathered around him during a taping of Traitors think he is. Or are they just playing it up here? I'm not sure, but...
Oh, I am.
Things got very heated because during the latest episode, Michael was trying to deflect the attention from him. People were accusing him of being the traitor, and he decided to put it on Colton Underwood. And he said something that Colton at least said he received as homophobia, and everybody piled on Michael Rappaport. So watch how this plays out. I can't tell what's real here and what's people playing the game.
Oh, I know exactly what's real here. I'm angry, I'm pissed off, and I am isolated because of him. Him. And nobody in this room would be better at holding a secret than you.
There it is.
There it is. You're a traitor.
You think it was fun for 29 years of my life?
Oh, no. It has nothing to do with it. I think you came into this game loving the idea of being a traitor.
You said because I held a secret for 29 years, I
didn't say you held a secret for 29 years.
You insinuated it.
Very low blow.
I don't think it was.
It was.
Well, you're wrong.
It wasn't intended to be.
Well, it was.
Michael, he took it that way.
You're a traitor, a commiserating, colluding traitor. Commiserating. Colton.
Commiseration means to feel sorry for someone.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I am so team Rappaport.
Someone got petty with the grammar at the end.
I love that. And look, of course, Harvey the lawyer is Team Rappaport. And I get his point, but it's not the, it's not really the I don't know what word I'm looking for. But let's listen.
To me, this is absurd that what Michael Rappaport is saying is, yes, Colton Underwood was in the closet. I know something about that because I was too for a long time. So he was in the closet, and yes, it's hard. It's really hard. Colton Underwood, and I'm not saying this is bad or not at all. Colton Underwood chose to go on a network.
Hold on.
I want to make my point. Colton Underwood Colton Underwood went on The Bachelor, and he was supposedly looking for a woman to marry. That was a ruse. So in terms of keeping a secret, he did that very publicly. It has nothing to do with being in the closet. This is a game. And whether it's relevant or not, it's not homophobic. He's just making a point that Colton's good at holding a secret because he was able to play straight on a network show for millions of people to watch. That's not a homophobic statement.
If I said to you, so you're saying the only difference is because Colton went on a reality show. But if I said to you, well, I know you're good at keeping secrets because for however many decades, you weren't out.
But you know what,
right?
Charles?
So then would that be me being homophobic?
No, and you'd be right. You learn that, and it's a terrible thing to learn.
That would be horribly homophobic if I did that.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're telling a gay guy that it would be homophobic even though he doesn't think it would be about himself.
Yes.
You asked me, would I feel that's homophobic?
Right.
No.
I'm saying I would never say that because I would feel like that's homophobic.
Okay, and I'm telling you
to mock the fact that you didn't feel comfortable in society.
You're not mocking. It's just a fact that you learn how to keep secrets when you have to live that way, and it's a crappy way to live, but you do learn it. So it wouldn't be, listen, if you said that to me, I would say, you're right.
Normally, I really don't like Harvey Levin at all. But they get a lot of the news, and I really enjoyed. I never thought about, I was pretty much looking at it from the view of Charles and didn't see Harvey's side at all until he talked about that. And it's interesting. I think Mara was right. It was a really low blow. But not necessarily homophobic. But, Michael was really loud and obnoxious and always making really bad comments. Also in that he talked about, he called Eric Nom's ears. He called him with his magic ears. That was kind of funny, though. That wasn't that low of a blow he did. His magic ears did not hear Tiffany laugh. But that was kind of like they made that seem on the edit that was like, oh, no, not magic ears. At first, I thought they were commenting on the size of his ears. I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice. He does kind of have big ears. Yeah, and I saw that before I ever realized there was an episode 5. I saw that. So let's watch, I think, they do the vote. Of course, Michael is murdered. The votes were pretty straightforward. The only people that got votes were Ron and Michael. And basically, Lisa, Candace, Dorinda, and Michael voted out Ron, and then everybody else voted out Michael. And then let's listen to this.
What a traitor. The name of the game is to capture traitors. You just voted out the best looking, the smartest, and the dopest faithful.
All right. There it is. So that's how Michael left the house. Round table is over, and I don't see how you can be 29 years old and confused at that point. But again, it's his story to tell, and his, I don't know. I don't know if I don't. But at the same time, that's not necessarily, because sometimes late in life lesbians don't always know. So why should I be? That would be hypocritical of me to judge a man differently. Sometimes it's hard not to, just by the pure nature of being a female. I don't know. Anyway, that's not neither here nor there. My opinions. So he is let's see. Jam Colton walks in, sits down. Oh yeah, okay. So now possibly either Colton has signed his fate or he was younger than 29? Oh, okay. I just assumed he was 29 when he went on The Bachelor, but no, I guess that would make more sense. Okay. Thanks, don't say much. So, Colton tells Dorinda, he's like, hey, let me ask you a question. And, there's a few people in the room, including Rob, who overhears the whole conversation and is like, but Colton says, you know Lisa pretty well, right? Is Lisa always this quiet? Dorinda replies no, and Colton says it's throwing you off too, isn't it? And Dorinda's like, yes, she's so quiet at the round table. And Mara says she's not usually like that, and Colton says no. And Rob is just sitting there listening. Colton thinks Colton's telling the confessional that if she was a faithful, he feels she's got the personality to be playing at his speed, which makes sense. I agree. I did too. So, Jam is then like, but she gave us the best description of the murder. Colton says, why do you think that is? She got to watch it 3 times. Rob then says, I really haven't thought much about her, and I don't really talk to her that much. Time for bed and time for the turret. They gather around. Rob asked both Lisa and Candace if they got shields. Both of them said, nope, they didn't. They talked about it, but they didn't. They said, but Colton actually Colton wanted it. So I don't know if Colton might have got one, but I know he was talking about wanting one. So now I'm wondering if they're trying to drop a little seed that the shields were taken and they're lying. I couldn't read it. Rob tells Lisa then, and I thought for a moment that Colton was in the confessional right before the turret, and I thought for a moment that Colton said, or not Colton, I mean Rob. Rob said that Colton was his number one, and that he was loyal to Colton. Or no, Colton was his number one, but his top loyalty was the Traitors, but he could only do so much. So I was hoping he wasn't even going to tell Lisa and Candace. But he did. He told Lisa that Colton's coming for her. And then suddenly Lisa's afraid that they can't murder anybody tonight if nobody took a shield. But if he did, then so did the others. All 4 did. Either none of them or all 4. Right, Kirsten? I know. So she's worried that they're not gonna, that she's worried now that Colton's not gonna have a shield and that he'll be coming for her tomorrow. And the episode ends. Bum, bum, bum. So yeah. But do you think, what if they took shields and don't tell Rob? Like, that'd be so bad. But that would be, housewives would do that. They would make a housewife bond. Like, we're not even going to tell Rob. Oh my goodness. Right? I was really disappointed when he told. I yelled at the TV, "Damn it, Rob! It's a good thing you're cute." You got a bunch of middle-aged women all over the world lusting for you. It's a good thing. So that's how it ended. It was good. It was really good. The whole Michael of it all. Like, every episode they want to get out Ron, and every episode something happens and they get detoured. I mean, it's just been good. And I don't know, like, who I just don't know. Maybe Rob. I like Eric a lot. He's probably not going to do enough. Mara is really pretty, and I love how she makes herself look so different. And I love how anytime she says a word that starts with a TH, the H is silent. She was thinking of that. She was thinking of that. Oh, my goodness. Any other comments or anything you guys want to add? I probably go far too into depth on these, but I like talking about them. I like every moment of the shows. And I just don't know how to shorten it. I thought I shortened it today, but here we are at 2 hours. I didn't really shorten it. So next week, hopefully there's just one episode. I'm going to pay better attention so I don't get caught surprised. Yes, Pippi does love shower curtain dresses, and that's one. Oh, it's time for the round table. And Pippi, we heard you say you like shower curtain dresses, and now you're lying about it. Explain yourself. Right? And now we have to wait Monday, Tuesday, 4 days. Well, I wait 4 days. You guys will wait 5 or 6 days until you watch it. But she's a traitor to the shower curtain dress. She proved it. You're going to wish you had that shower curtain dress when it's raining to hell and back and you have to go to a ball. You're going to be like, damn it, I shouldn't have talked bad about the shower curtain dress. And they banished me. All right. On that note, I said what I said. You've already made up your minds, traitors. Who you're going to kill. Aw, your poor cat. Your poor baby. Pippi wouldn't lie about kitty cats. She would never. Not that Lauren Marie, I might have to start thinking about you as a banishment because Pibby just wouldn't do that. Proof for it didn't happen. Okay, on that note, I'm going to end this stream. We've gone off the rails. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. For watching. I appreciate it. And I am just going to play the intro as the outro. And everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching. And thank you so much for being members, Rainbow. And not that Lauren Marie for 21 months and 10 months. I appreciate you guys. And I appreciate you, Kirsten. And Don't Say Much. And Pippi. And everybody that joined. Thank you very much. All right. Good night.
Friend, come foe, come one, come all, to the highlands to see who lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, they'll take to the stage on invisible strings. For once in my castle, their roles are assigned, their fates in the game, forever entwined. Under cover of night, the traitors will slay. Can a faithful fight back, or be